Good evening, viewers. Welcome to today's news edition. First, let's have a glimpse of the headlines. Over 60% voter turnout recorded in fifth phase of Lok Sabha elections. Newly appointed DGP strives to change people's perception about Meghalaya Police State to take lead from Assam in recruitment process. KHADC's research on tradition, customs and practices of Khasis nearing completion. CM to convene meeting of all stakeholders after Lok Sabha polls to discuss MCCL closure. Meghalaya State Pollution Control Board and Huladeck Recycling Private Limited hold workshop on e-waste. Firm targets to install 50 e-waste bins across Meghalaya. The news in detail. A total of 60.09% of voter turnout was recorded in the fifth phase of Lok Sabha elections yesterday. In this phase, 49 parliamentary constituencies spread over 6 states and 2 union territories went to the polls. Polling remained largely peaceful, with voters from all walks of life participated enthusiastically despite the heat wave condition in several parts of the country. Newly appointed DGP of Meghalaya, Ida Shisha Nongrang, has asserted that she wants to correct the perception of Meghalaya police being hostile towards its people. Addressing her first press conference soon after taking the charge as the DGP, Nongrang said that the challenge she will face is to change people's perception. Meanwhile, Nongrang has asserted that the claims of HNLC disassociating itself from extortion drives in the city are being verified. There were complaints that HNLC had sent extortion notes to many traders in the city, to which the latter denied any involvement.
The impression of, the perception, rather the impression, the perception that Meghalaya police is hostile to the people, let me put it very bluntly, correcting that influence, that perception, and to ensure that the people the police are accessible, are there to help you and not to harass you. On that, the demand notes of HNLC, the HNLC themselves have come out with the clarification that it's not them, that verification is going on, whether it's actually them or it's an offshoot or it's somebody mimicking the HNLC. Investigation is going on, inquiries are going on. I would like to leave it at that.
Meanwhile, the newly appointed DGP of Meghalaya, Ida Shisha Nongrang, has assured that the recruitment in Meghalaya Police will be expedited to ensure vacancies are filled up. She said the matter pertaining to recruitment is pending in High Court and added that the police have adhered to the laid-down provisions for recruitment. She further stated that the police will take a lead from Assam to ensure that the target for recruitment is achieved.
Unfortunately, there's a big confusion about that relaxation in age, and the perception there's been a different perception. In fact, I would say a misconception as to the departments which are exempted from that. You must be aware that on the 23rd, there is a section of a group of people have filed a petition in court. The hearing is on the 23rd. We are hoping that the court will see that we have adhered to the provisions, whatever government instructions have come vis-a-vis the recruitment. Yes, we have a large number of vacancies, but we are hoping to take a leave of what has happened in Assam and where they have filled up all their vacancies. And our target is to ensure that those vacancies are filled up and the recruitment is expedited to the extent possible.
The research work on 41 different areas pertaining to traditions, culture, customs and practices of the Khasi community is nearing completion. This research exercise was financially supported by Chief Minister Conrad K. Sangma with a sum of Rs 50 lakh last year. KHADC Executive Member in charge of Education, Karnes Soshang, revealed that the Research and Development Committee, which he heads, will meet on May 24 to discuss the status of this research project. Earlier, the Council had set a deadline of March 31st for scholars to submit their work.
Jingalam jong CM jongi ba punya nakabata pan ka jingarap na I Chief Minister wide bat ka fund bata ka jing ai ka jongi sanpulak along ka jing kerku nakabata ka ni research mentang idang perkat ban song ka komiti haka absorber jong ta benai haka bangin yok ban ya perkat ban ya pano ya lani ban pa submit ya ka pre submission jam swabangin bangin perkut lani swaba ngin pediang ya ki research ki jongki haban pa le swa ka pre submission bada din kata ladang ila ka jipe jong komiti ka ibit ibam no sedong ni sa petip ski bakin pa final draft.
The Mamlo Chera Cements Employees Union MCCEU yesterday met Chief Minister Conrad Sangma and handed over the letter to him, reiterating the various demands related to pending salaries and other dues. MCCEU General Secretary Pins Kemlang Lingdo said that the Chief Minister informed the delegation that he would convene a meeting of all stakeholders after the Lok Sabha election results next month to decide on the fate of MCCL. The union also sought support for a voluntary retirement scheme VRS and a golden handshake scheme.
Kajingwan kedu jungi Menteri Ramba Kadikasi kalau pang si point kalau min ai reminder kalau itu kini point kita hila submit sa government sa punishment kita gilong kabalikom kalau kat hadu baka pelan kanta ya don jingerap di ban ai ini financial assistant imdai betul kaba kalau ngidang community ba pelan kan ya buat kabalai kalau ka BRS buat ka betul golden handshake scheme.
The underperformance of Meghalaya youth in the UPSC civil service examinations has been a matter of concern for years, and newly appointed DGP and IPS officer Ida Shisha Nongrang has called upon the youth to have determination and perseverance. Citing trouble-torn state of Manipur as an example of commitment, Nongrang pointed out that of the 10 aspirants from Manipur who cleared the exams, 4 studied and prepared in Shillong. The youth needs to understand that the amount of hard work and effort that goes into preparing for competitive exams.
Where the civil services are concerned, it's become much more competitive over the years. It was quite different 30 years back when I started with civil services. It's very different now. The competition has increased much more. Our youth need to realize that they have to, if it's something that you really want, you really have to struggle for it. It's not that I mean, there have been umpteen number of whether IPS or IAS officers from the state who have qualified before. The examination pattern has not changed very much. But the number of people who contesting, the competition for it, yes, has increased. So commensurate with that, the amount of effort that is required will have to be much more than what has gone before.
The Meghalaya State Pollution Control Board, in collaboration with Huladek Recycling Private Limited, today organized awareness workshop in an effort to create awareness on environmentally sound management of e-waste. During the inaugural function, an e-waste bin was also launched. This initiative aims to encourage stakeholders and everyone else to use them to dispose of their e-waste, which includes old grinders and mixers, desktop and computer parts, chargers, batteries, among other things that are no longer useful to households. Meanwhile, Huladek Managing Director Nandal Mal informed that they are targeting to install 50 e-waste bins across the state.
3 years, we have some very able partners in Shillong who've been working with us, and we feel that the entire Northeast is quite unaware or the level of recycling of electronic waste is currently quite low. So we wanted to spread that word and also ensure that maximum e-waste from all of Northeast, specifically from Meghalaya, gets recycled, and we continue to enjoy the nature that we've seen growing up, and we don't end up losing it. That's the whole idea.
The body of a 50-year-old man was found floating in the Umyam River today. The deceased, identified as Ron Cooper Masar, a resident of Umroi Jayau Padang under the jurisdiction of Umyam Police Station, is suspected to have drowned. According to reports, Masar's relative filed a complaint at Umroi Police Investigation Centre, PIC, on May 20th, stating that he had been missing since 4 a.m. on Monday after going for a jog. Masar was working as a junior engineer in Water Conservation, Shillong. The Anti-Narcotic Task Force of East Jaintia Hills today morning detained a Tata Sumo proceeding from Silchar, Assam, and during checking, 58 soap boxes of heroin weighing around 609 grams were recovered. The market value of the seized heroin is rupees 5.5 crore. One person, identified as Lal Biagdik Vaipai of Madanruting, Shillong, has been detained. This is the first major drug bust since new DGP Ida Shisha Nongrang took over charge. St. Edmund's College Khasi Department today organized a special lecture on the Hima Khasi, an instrument of accession, IOA, at the college auditorium. The special lecture was delivered by Chairman of the Grand Council of Chiefs, John F. Kharshiying, who is also the advisor of the Federation of the Khasi States. On the occasion, Kharshiying also released the magazine Karansan, Chapter 9, in the presence of Principal in charge of the college, Simon Coelho, among others.
kami bersatu dulu berkeren berpan dari posisi. Kalau macam langsung jubur, langsung apa? Apa? Bila kita kasih, lalu kasih, kemudian mundur, Federation kasih. Tiga ni kalau kebangan, kesana apa?
A training program for senior hair and beauty therapists under the Skills Meghalaya initiative was inaugurated at the Multi-Facility Centre in Ampati on Monday. Young beneficiaries from across the district attended the inauguration cum orientation program organised by the Office of the Skill Development Officer, Southwest Garo Hills, Ampati. The training program, which spans 510 hours, will be conducted at training centres in Garo Badha and Ampati by MPOLs, an empaneled training partner of Skills Meghalaya, targeting around 100 beneficiaries in the hair and beauty industry. And now the weather report. Maximum temperature recorded today was at 24 degrees Celsius, while minimum temperature was recorded at 15.8 degrees Celsius. Relative humidity in the morning was 87%, which increased to 100% in the evening. Rainfall recorded this morning was 0.3 millimeter. Forecast: light to moderate rainfall and thunderstorm are likely to occur at few places. Before we wind up this news bulletin, here's a short recap. Over 60% voter turnout recorded in fifth phase of Lok Sabha elections. Newly appointed DGP strives to change people's perception about Meghalaya Police State to take lead from Assam in recruitment process. KHADC's research on tradition, customs and practices of Khasis nearing completion. CM to convene meeting of all stakeholders after Lok Sabha polls to discuss MCCL closure. Meghalaya State Pollution Control Board and Huladeck Recycling Private Limited hold workshop on e-waste. Firm targets to install 50 e-waste bins across Meghalaya. And that's all we have for you today in this news bulletin. Thanks for tuning in with us. Good night.